I had counselors tell me at Emory that I wasn't going to get into medical school.
Hello, welcome to Latino Leadership, reaching and teaching Orlando's Latino leaders. According to a 2016 Stanford University study, there were more large Latino businesses in the state of Florida than in the state of New York, the state of Texas, and in the state of California. The Atlantic Monthly magazine reported that the state of Florida had the most educated Latinos in the United States. From the city of Miami to the city of Orlando, more Latinos were graduating from high school in Orlando and from college in Miami than in any other city in the United States. However, Latinos are often trapped in a financial hole, going around in circles and less likely to be homeowners or business owners. Today we're meeting inspirational, bilingual, and multicultural Latino leaders. They are the sparkling diamonds in Central Florida. They're reaching out to our community and leading in their fields. These Latino leaders are professors, politicians, and persons that are leading by example.
My name is René Plasencia, and I also go by Coach P. I was a high school teacher at Colonial High School where I coached cross country and track. And most recently I was elected to the Florida House of Representatives where I'm serving my second term in District 50.
I am a 4-H extension agent for the University of Florida IFAS Extension in Osceola County.
My name is Marucci Guzmán. I'm the Executive Director of Latino Leadership.
I'm currently a medical student entering my second year at Tulane University in New Orleans, and I'm also second lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
I'm Josué Soto, President of NARP Central Florida, which stands for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. Our mission statement is to advance sustainable Hispanic home ownership and to educate leaders in our real estate industry. In 2016, there were over 57 million Latinos in the United States. That's more than Spain, Argentina, and most of Latin American countries.
There's a couple of stories that I remember growing up. One of them is about my dad. I remember talking to my mom years after I'd grown up and I was an adult. And she would tell me that there were times when my dad wasn't doing well financially and it was hard times at our house. And he was in between jobs. But he would wake up in the morning, he would put a suit on, and he would just go out the door and just drive around. And it said something, and it taught me something. It taught me that you can't just sit down and feel sorry for yourself. And you also have to put out an image of strength and of courage. And my dad went out every day, and he went out looking for a job, but he didn't go out as someone who seemed like they were on hard times. He went out as someone who was successful, and he projected a very successful image of himself.
One story I would share about developing leadership skills is that you never know everything. So anything that I would tell someone looking to develop leadership skills is to ask for help. Look in the community, see what resources are available to develop those skills. If you're a high school student, high schools do a great job of having different programming that caters to developing leadership skills, whether it's a student government association, a debate team. There's so many different opportunities to develop those skills.
So I began developing my leadership skills very early on, starting in high school. I applied to be in the IB program. The IB program just really teaches you how to study efficiently, and these study skills that I learned in high school really just helped me out throughout college. So I definitely recommend doing a program like IB or AP. Those two things are things that colleges really look at to pick their future students. And luckily, I had a professor in high school that told me about a scholarship that a lot of his students before had applied to. One of them was the QuestBridge Scholarship, and the second one was the Gates Millennium Scholarship. And these two scholarships are mainly for underserved students or underserved communities that, they just need more diversity in all colleges. So the QuestBridge program works with a vast majority of colleges, including all the Ivy Leagues. Stanford was one of my dream schools that they also worked with. So that scholarship, you apply November, December time, and you have to write a series of essays. And usually you become a finalist. I was a finalist, but unfortunately I didn't get that scholarship. So, but that was a great one that you can apply for. And then the second one that I ended up applying for was the Gates Millennium Scholarship, and that's the one that I ended up getting. And that essentially was a full ride to the college of my dreams, which was Emory University in Atlanta. And I had such an amazing time over there, exploring, being in a school that is just very well known. I was able to reach that goal, although originally I thought I wasn't going to get there. You know, you have your doubts, but you just need to learn how to overcome your doubts and really just focus on what you want to do in the future.
And then another story I have is goes back to when I was an athlete at UCF. I had been training all cross-country season. It was my senior year at UCF, and I wanted to qualify for NCAA cross-country championships. Our region meet was in South Carolina at Furman University, and I remember I was in the best shape I'd ever been in my life, and so I was really prepared for this race. That morning, the race got out fast. The course was saturated in water because a hurricane had come through earlier, and I went out my first 2 miles at a horrible pace, and I felt horrible as well, and I gave up. I walked off the course and I didn't even finish the race. And my coach laid into me. She was angry. She was disappointed in my performance. And literally from Furman to Orlando, I think is about a 10 or 11 hour drive. She got the entire team in the van. She drove straight to Orlando. We stopped at the track. She took us off the van and she said, "Get on the line. We're doing a 2-mile time trial." And with no rest, whatever sleep I got on the van on the drive from Furman to Orlando, I clocked in the fastest 2 miles I had ever run, even splits. It was an incredible race, and when I got off the track, she looked at me and she said, "You gave up on yourself when you really could have been successful. Never give up on yourself again."
Sometimes you're the only Latino voice in the room. So your perspective and your opinions, what you bring to the table is very important, because when you walk away, they're left with an opinion of what a Latino leader is, of what being a Hispanic person in Orlando is. And it's our job and our priority to make sure that when we leave, that reputation is intact and it's solid, and we're always representing our community to the best of our ability.
You can do it. You are smart enough. As long as you have, I think, motivation and dedication are the biggest things. You don't have to be the brightest kid out there. You know, there's so many bright kids that just don't use the opportunities and don't dedicate themselves to what they want to achieve. So just having that mindset of, yes, I can do this, even though it might be rough at times. I'll give you my personal experience where I finished at Emory. I had a 3.5 GPA, and that's not super competitive for medical schools.
Tips to overcome challenges faced by Latinos who are interested in becoming a leader. Tip 1, be yourself and never forget your roots. Tip 2, be passionate in what you believe in, but most importantly, take action. Tip 3, take initiative. Tip 4, preparation is the key. Tip 5, don't give up.
Well, one of the things that I learned was through the Leadership Academy that was provided to us by the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. And basically what we learned is how to run an effective fundraiser, how to run an effective board of directors, how to become a great public speaker, and how to help and create a great financial budget for our board. As a Latino leader, I was looking up for the parliamentary rules of order and actually looked up Roger's rules, and it happened to be the Robert Rules of Order.
Robert Rules of Order is the standard reference for business meeting and is commonly used in both small and large organizations.
Latino leaders are moving in the right direction. They're rising to the challenge, and they're making a welcome change in Central Florida. If you'd like to help Latino leaders in making a difference in our community, please visit LatinoLeadership.org.